IRCC drops CRS bar to 379 in biggest French language draw of 2025. Welcome back to Canada Chronicles. If you're thinking about moving to Canada, this could be your moment. The latest express entry draw just made history. It wasn't just the biggest French language draw ever, it came with a shockingly low CRS score. That's huge news for thousands of candidates around the world. Today, we're diving into what this shift really means, why immigration, refugees and Citizenship Canada is changing the rules of the game, and how these changes connect to the country's bigger immigration strategy in 2025. And here's the best part, toward the end of the video, we'll reveal something every serious applicant needs to know. The secret to getting an ITA in 2025, even with a low CRS score. It's real, it's working, and you don't want to miss it. So stay tuned until the end. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss the latest updates on Canadian immigration. Let's get started. Canada's immigration system just made a massive move, and it's reshaping the express entry landscape. On March 21, 2025, Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada held its largest French language proficiency draw, inviting 7,500 candidates to apply for permanent residency. The standout detail? The comprehensive ranking system score required was just 379, the lowest seen in over a year. This sudden drop opens the door wider than we've seen in recent times, but it also raises big questions. Why the drastic shift? What does this mean for other immigration categories? And most importantly, how should you respond if you're an aspiring candidate? Let's break it down. What is the express entry system, and how does it work? Express entry is Canada's main pathway for skilled workers to gain permanent residence. Launched in 2015, it manages applications for three core streams: the Federal Skilled Worker Program, the Canadian Experience Class, and the Federal Skilled Trades Program. Candidates submit a profile online. That profile is then scored using the comprehensive ranking system, which awards points for factors like age, education, language ability in English and French, work experience, and adaptability. The higher your score, the more likely you are to receive an invitation to apply. Once invited, candidates have 60 days to submit a full application. Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada aims to process most of these within 6 months. What makes the system so dynamic is that express entry draws are tailored. Immigration officials decide how many people to invite, what the CRS cutoff will be, and which categories to focus on. The March 21 draw proves how powerful those decisions can be. Why French language draws are taking center stage. In the past year, Canada has shifted from broad, all-program draws to highly targeted ones. This is especially true in the case of French-speaking candidates. Between 2023 and 2025, Canada introduced category-based draws to better align with labor market needs and community goals. Language ability, particularly in French, became one of the top selection factors. The March 21 draw invited 7,500 candidates with a minimum CRS score of 379. Just 2 weeks earlier, a similar draw had a cutoff of 410. A month before that, it was 428. This dramatic drop in score means thousands of hopeful candidates who previously had no realistic shot are now in. It's not random. This targeted focus on French speakers supports Canada's broader strategy to grow francophone populations in provinces outside Quebec, which have long struggled to attract and retain French-speaking immigrants. Why Canada needs more French-speaking immigrants? The Canadian government has made it clear. Increasing francophone immigration is a top priority. Officials have set a national target to ensure that at least 4.4% of immigrants settling outside Quebec speak French. To achieve this, the federal government created specific selection streams within express entry to prioritize French language proficiency. The timing of the March 21 draw, just 1 day after International Francophonie Day, shows how deliberate this effort is. On the same week, Canada announced a $9.3 million investment to support francophone minority communities outside Quebec. That funding is being channeled into community support programs, infrastructure, and language services. The government wants these communities to grow, and to do that, it's turning to immigration. But there's another factor driving this urgency. Canada's aging population and declining birth rate are putting strain on the workforce. Sectors like healthcare, education, manufacturing, agriculture, and construction all depend on a steady supply of skilled newcomers, including both temporary foreign workers and permanent residents. French-speaking immigrants are seen as a vital solution to fill these gaps, especially outside Quebec, where demand is growing but supply has been limited. The tiebreaking rule you can't ignore. A crucial detail in this draw was the tiebreaking rule. When multiple candidates have the same CRS score, Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada uses a time-based cutoff. For the March 21st draw, only candidates who submitted their express entry profile before 2:53 a.m. Universal Time Coordinated on March 6, 2025, were eligible. This rule doesn't get much attention, but it can make or break your chances. Even if your score is above the cutoff, a late submission could mean you're skipped over. That's why it's essential to have your profile ready early and updated consistently. Canada's bigger immigration pivot. Now, let's talk about the bigger picture. While Canada is expanding opportunities for targeted groups, it is also reducing the total number of new permanent residents it plans to admit. In late 2024, the government revised its immigration targets down to 395,000 for 2025. That's a big cut from the 485,000 originally projected. Why? There's growing concern across Canada about housing shortages, pressure on infrastructure, and overwhelmed public services. With record population growth in recent years, much of it from temporary residents, many policymakers have been calling for a more balanced approach. Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada is responding by selecting fewer candidates overall, but choosing those who are more likely to succeed quickly. That includes people with strong language skills, job offers, or ties to the provinces. The fall of general draws, and the rise of strategic selection. If you've been waiting for a general all-program draw, you've probably noticed they're rare now. The last Canadian Experience class draw was back in early February 2025. Before that, the trend was already fading. This new phase is all about precision. The draws we're seeing now are targeted: French speakers, healthcare professionals, tech workers, skilled tradespeople, and nominees from the provincial nominee programs. For most candidates, that means one thing. If you're not in one of the focus categories, your profile may not even be considered. But don't lose hope. Thanks for staying with us this far. We appreciate your time and hope you're finding this information valuable. The secret to getting an ITA in 2025, even with a low CRS score. Here's the truth. You no longer need a high CRS score to immigrate to Canada. What you need is alignment. If your profile fits what Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada is actively seeking, you can still get invited, even with a score in the 370s. The March 21st draw proved it. So, what can you do right now? First, learn French. Even reaching CLB 7 opens a door that didn't exist for many just months ago. French proficiency can make you eligible for category-specific draws with much lower CRS cutoffs. Second, research and target a provincial nominee program. Provinces have more power than ever to select immigrants who meet local labor needs. Whether it's Alberta looking for tradespeople or Nova Scotia recruiting healthcare workers, aligning your profile with a province can put you miles ahead. Third, if you can study or work in Canada, even temporarily, do it. Canadian experience boosts your CRS score and increases your chances across multiple streams. In 2025, in Canada candidates remain a top priority for permanent residency. And finally, don't wait. Submit your express entry profile the moment you're eligible. The tiebreaking rule rewards early action. The game has changed. It's no longer about who scores highest, it's about who fits best. If you understand how the system is shifting, and you act strategically, this year could be the one that changes your life. And there you have it. The biggest French language draw in express entry history. A record-breaking drop in CRS score. And a clear message from Canadian immigration authorities. The future belongs to those who adapt. If you've been watching from the sidelines, now is the time to move. Whether you're boosting your French, tailoring your application for a province, or just getting your profile submitted early, this is your window. Thanks for watching Canada Chronicles. If you found this video helpful, hit that like button, share your thoughts or questions in the comments, and make sure to subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any future updates. We've got more insights, strategy tips, and real-time news coming your way. Until next time, take care, and keep your Canadian dream alive.